10th of March, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
That's what it's talking about in the Mishnah. Oh, but we said though that the end of the Mishnah said im haya osa etzel balabayis. If the carpenter is working, doing his malacha by the balabayis, so then we say afan nesarim shel balabayis. Even the nesarim will belong to the balabayis. Okay, so now we did some chazorah in the Mishnah. Let's take a look at the what the Gemora wants to bring from the Brisa. It seems like inconsistent with what it said in the Mishnah. So we start off with Raminu, Ramin he. So who's available for reading today? The end of the... Alan, would you like to start the reading?
Yeah, what page? Before?
The very last page.
19b4, Alan.
Okay, got it. The bottom of Gemora cites?
Next bit, the Gemara notes.
Okay. More notes an apparent contradiction between the Mishnah ruling and the Brisa. For me, but contrast this ruling with the following Brisa. Rush Motzi Dad Bamasad Bahanifa Sort Bama Gerora.
Otimatzad v'nifsak b'magira harei elu shel balabayis.
The carpenter moves with an adze, or whatever pieces of wood are severed off with a saw, a ray or a low, a shell, ba'al, by it. They belong to the owner. Bahai Yotzei, Mita Kas, Mita De'ach. But the sawdust that falls out from under the drill, umi takas, where he knee, or the shavings from under a plane, bahad neither board bamor gedor, or the sawdust that is sawn away with the saw. A low, shalom, these belong to the carpenter. Our Mishnah says that shavings of an odds belong to the carpenter, but this Brisa says they belong to the owner. So he gets it.
Okay.
Says now the Gemara answer that.
Okay, so we have any Rashi over here? What about Magera? We have a Rashi de Ramaska but Magera. It's about it's in the inside column, about half the way down, the narrow lines. Yeah. Lou, you want to read that Rashi?
Rashi, where is it now?
Rashi Dibra Maskil Magira. Halfway down.
You're on the left side.
On the left side.
On the left side, and right after where you have on the right, to the left of it, it says Laze Rashi. From that point, it's about very few lines down. Let's see, it's about 3 lines. The next Rashi after that.
What's the first word in the line?
First one on the line is Totvo, Utochvo. It's a line. There's a bounded line Chazi, and it's the line after that.
Magida. Ray Balaz.
Yeah, Sha'iris. Sha'iris is like leftovers normally, but that's the foreign language.
Visachin Hu Shiesh Bo Piki Mos Harbe Vikola Las Mehar.
Kotzetzet Meher.
So it's a knife that is Pigimos, I don't know.
What is that?
It has a a knife that has like also this is also nogea to a shchita knife, right?
It's just
He's got to check his shchita knife to make sure it doesn't have nicks in it and things that can ruin the shchita. So a pagima is it's a blemish, but it's a place on the knife which is not it's got a nick over there, some type of a thing that so it doesn't cut the way it's supposed to cut.
Ah, I see. So it's a kind of a knife that has a nick in it. It has many nicks in it. And what is this koleles?
Kotzetzes my hair. Oh, you know what? Here, I don't think the Rashi is using the word in the way that I explained it at all. This that it says pegimos, you know what I think he means to say? Because if you take a look at the Loadze Rashi, he translates this word perish magera masar, which I think in modern Hebrew is a saw.
My English says it's an adze.
What's that?
Well, I actually Googled it, and it's a tool similar to an axe.
actually
An arched blade at right angles to the handle, used for cutting or shaping large pieces of wood.
No, the axe is the word before that in the Gemara. It's the atzad is the adze, adze. Magera is the saw.
Yeah, I think so.
So an adze is kind of like a plane.
Yeah.
It chips off the wood as opposed to a saw, which cuts the wood.
So so in this brisa, it says in this brisa that the cherish that when he's using a matzad, van nifsak b'magera, hare elu shel balabais. Right, the matzad is some type of a small axe, and the Magera is a saw. Nifsak b'Magera. And as a result of the saw, he's got things that pieces of wood over there that come off from the Magera in his work. But I was just pointing out that the Rashi uses the word pagima over here. It doesn't mean that it like a saw has rivets in it, right? That's how it works. An ordinary saw, you see the rivets in the saw, and they're supposed to be there. That's part of that's the whole idea of the saw, that it's got these rivets, and that's what it's able to cut the wood. So the begimos over here doesn't mean something that's not supposed to be. It's not the same. The word is being used by Rashi in a not the same connotation that it's used when we talk about the begimos in a shchita knife. These are pegimos that are supposed to be there. It's got many of them, and many of these rivets, and it cuts very quickly as a result. That's the engineering of the saw. It's able to cut very quickly because of the fact it's got these rivets. I guess that's the way it's able to do that very, very, very quickly. Okay. Now, but in any case, okay, so that's that Rashi. Magera. Now we go to the next Rashi. Hanifsak b'Magera. What does this mean? Hanifsak b'Magera in the Brisa. Phil, you want to do this, Rashi?
The nifs where okay, the Hanefsak Megera, Seki 18, Piske 18. Something of the woods. The stopping of the wood.
Piske 18 sha'etz aroch.
The wood is long. The posco, and it gets cut, so to speak. It's broken up into.
Right. Yeah. Right. Piske eitzim, she'etz aruk. You got a long log of like a long log or a long board or whatever it is. Uposco, and he's cutting it in half, or wherever it is that he cuts it. But he's cutting it off. So the part that's cut off from the main part is called the piske eitzim. Those are the cut off parts of the wood. Interesting. So in other words, that's what we're describing in the Brisa. This that the carpenter brings out the wood that comes out from the axe, this small axe, or what is cut off from the saw. Harei elu shel balabais. It belongs to the balabais. Now, if you look in the Mishnah, the Brisa continues, but just to point out, the reason why the Gemora is bringing this Brisa over here is because it says in our Mishnah not like that. The Mishnah says that the Cherish, what he's motzi with the matzad, with this small axe, which we're calling a matzad, it says in the Mishnah, it says Hare Elu Shalo. It says it belongs to the Cherish, to the carpenter. And here we see in this Brisa that it says that what comes out from the matzad that belongs to the balabais. So that's a contradiction. That's why the Gemora is bringing this Brisa over here because we have an inconsistency. Okay. Now we've got some more carpentry tools over here that Rashi is telling us what a little bit about them, in addition to translating into Old French what it is that they are. And the next one is Mekadeach. So let's take a look at this one. Lou?
Mikadeach, Taraida, Vi Haoza, Mishash, Dak, Kafar. Sorry, I don't know any of these words.
Okay, so first thing is to look in you have the Loazei Rashi.
No, I don't even know what that is.
It's on the left side there. It's the bottom left, underneath the
Oh,
marks.
Loazei Rashi, Rashi, I see it. Yeah, I see it.
So this word, this Rashi translate this the word in the Brisa Makdach as trida. So this is
Trida. Yeah, I see
all the
that.
way on the bottom.
The current use of the metech in modern Hebrew is a drill.
Trida.
Yeah, so look at the way Rashi explains in the Loazei Rashi. He says perish makadach kli malacha. It's a it's a work tool. Shel barzel. It's made out of iron. Shekodechin bo ba'etz. It pierces into the wood lasos nekev to make a hole.
What's a
So that,
drill?
yeah.
Ah, very interesting. And what are the rest of the words in this Rashi?
So Rashi says by us the Rashi the hayotze misham, and what comes out from the as a result of the work of this drill is dak ka'afar. It's very, very fine, like dust. Those are that's the sawdust.
What is coming out of it?
Right.
When you drill a hole in a wood, what comes out is sawdust. So who does that the sawdust belong to?
Right.
So that's the next subject of the brisa. Hayotze bitachas makdeach. They pronounce it over here. What comes out from underneath the drill? So that's one thing that the brisa is talking about. Then we go to the next thing that the brisa talks about. Umitachas ritani or rihitni. What's that? Rashi has no explanation. He just translates what it is into his language.
That word explains it. It says that's the word we know. Planer. It's a plane. A reed needs a plane. Plane is a plane.
Plana. Ah, okay.
There's a plane.
Yeah, the English says under a plane.
And the lowest Rashi on the bottom, the last one on the bottom, says Peirosh Miksoa. It's explaining it's a Miksoa. Miksoa is something professional. Ayin Rashi, Shabbat Daf. Oh, now you keep moving places. Ayin Hey, Lefi She'ei Yevsher. It's not possible. Okay, I don't know. Nothing like that. Adding that can help.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by that. Mixo, I don't know. Okay, plane, fine. So it's like a plane. So a plane also the shavings that come out are very fine, very small.
No, I think there's a big difference between a plane and a drill. The drill is very tiny and fine. You can hardly even see it. But with a plane, you get pieces of wood. You get tiny pieces of wood that you could definitely see and hold in your hand, and they're much bigger.
Yeah, okay. But I'm just saying they're not like pieces that would come out from an axe that cuts into a
Right.
piece of wood.
They're smaller than an axe and smaller than a saw.
Mitachas rihitni. So okay, and then we have a nigrar b'magera.
But with a saw, you have two things. You have a saw can cut a piece of wood in half, for example. So you've got, a big piece, but also when you saw, sawdust is produced, and that's similar to what you get from a drill.
Uh-huh.
But it depends on what you're talking about.
Right. So there's two things that we're talking about in this brisa. The first thing we talked about before from the magera is hanifsak, what's cut from the piece of wood by means of the magera, and now we're talking about what's nigrar, what's nigrar from the magera.
All right, so I assume the nigrar is the sawdust.
Okay, we got a Rashi over here. The Rashi explains over here. Nigrar b'magera.
Nigra is dakar, very thin. Shehi Maseret became there's sword in a plate. Tachat dak. Chatach, it cuts it, dakat, like dust. It says like sawdust.
Right.
Asheris. Yeah, so this it's very, very fine. Shehi masheris, it leaves behind in its wake the makom chatach, in the place where it was where the saw did its cutting. It leaves these things dak ka'afar. They're as fine as dust.
Right.
So again, Rashi used the word dust, just like he used by the word makdeach. Dak ka'afar. Okay. Right. Okay. So that is all we got from this brisa. And so these last three things, Yotze mitachas makdeach, from the drill, from the rehitni, and what's nigrar from the magera is harei elu shalom. That's the halacha in that comes out from those three cases, because those things are those things are very, very fine, like dust, and that Balabai's not interested in having get those things back. But back to the stira is from the din of the matzad. Here the brisa says motzi b'matzad. The din that's the resha of the brisa. The cases where it says harei elu shel balabais. Motzi b'matzad. Harei elu shel balabais. The Mishnah told us Motzi b'matzad harei elu shalom. So what is it? Is it harei elu shalom or is it harei elu shabalabais? What's the din of the wood that comes out as a result of the matzah? So in this, we need an answer from the Gemora, and Rava comes to the rescue. Amar Rava. Roy, would you like to read Amar Rava?
Okay, I can't see it.
Turn to page 119B5.
Over the page, right. Lama Rava said, Atharei Tanya Didan. In the place of the Tanya of our Mishnah,
Let's see.
Eka Tarati Hatsine. There are two kinds of chopping tools. The Rabbansi Kari Lo Bashil. The larger one was called an axe, or Zutrasi Kari Lo Ma'atzad. Smaller one is called an edge. The Tana Bara, in the place of the Tana of the Brisa, had Chad, two dots, isn't it? Chad, the Uka, there was only one chopping tool. This is the Tana of the Brisa, there was only the larger chopping tool. The Koru Lo Ma'asad, and it was called an adze. When our Mishnah says the shavings of an adze belong to the carpenter, says the scroll, the reference is to the small adze whose shavings are very fine. And when the Baraisa says that the shavings of an adze belong to the owner, the reference is to the large adze, the axe, whose shavings are thick.
Asr the Tana Bra. Okay, so that's the. So in different places, they have different. They have the. In one place, they got both the big one and the smaller one, and that's what they got in the. That's what they got in the Mishnah. Ba'asr the Tana Didan. That's in the Mishnah. They got two types, and there Rebbe calls it a chatzine. So it's another type. It's another name for an axe, I guess. And so they got both types over there. And the one that he was talking about in the Mishnah that he called it a matzad, the Tana of the Mishnah calls it a matzad. And it gives off smaller ones. So therefore we say it'll harei elu shalom. But in the locale of the Tana of the Brisa, they only had the big one, I guess. But Asr the Tana Bra, Chadhu de Ikka Karule Matzad. They only had one type and gave off big ones, and that's why the din is harei shel balabais when you work with this matzad. Okay. Okay, pretty interesting answer, because the because the Mishnah is when was the last time we said, oh, the Mishnah is talking about it in a certain locale of the Tana of that Mishnah? That's a very interesting answer. What the halacha? It would be interesting to know what the halacha is. In other words, what's the halacha? Like the generally we say the Mishnah, the halacha will be like the Mishnah. And so therefore, even in a place where all they got is oh, 1 second. 1 second. What do you mean to say? You mean to say that no. You know what the point is? The point is that the Mishnah and the Brisa are talking about apples and oranges. That's really what Rav is saying, right? Rav is saying the Mishnah is talking about apples and oranges. So when the Mishnah says that the matzah, that matzad, the din is harei elu shalo, is because it's talking about smaller shavings that come, smaller chips rather that come off from this smaller axe. So we don't have to say the halacha is like the Mishnah as opposed to the Brisa. The Mishnah is talking about a smaller axe, and the Brisa is talking about a larger axe. So it's not the point that the halacha is like the Mishnah as opposed to the Brisa. The Brisa is not arguing with the Mishnah. That's what Rav is saying. The halacha might be like both the Mishnah and the Brisa, because they're talking about two different types of axes. The smaller axe, the wood chips are smaller, so they'll belong to the carpenter. But the Bryce is talking about the larger axe, and those chips will belong to the balabais because they're larger chips. Okay. So we'll hold it over here, and we still got a few more lines to the end of the Masechta. So you got more time to think about what Masechta you want to do after Bava Kama. All right. All the best, everybody. A good day, a good week, a good month.
Shabbat shalom to you, Rabbi.
Chodesh Tov. Bye.
Chodesh Tov.
Chodesh Tov U'Mevorach. Bye, Alan. Chodesh Tov U'Mevorach. Bye, Phil. Bye, Lou.